Alright everyone, we start off today talking about tomorrow's primaries for the GOP. They are extremely important. We have 4 different races that we're watching. If we can get a positive result in just 3 of them, that's a huge victory. If we can get all 4, and it's definitely not beyond the realm of possibility, then MAGA prevails, populism prevails. The neocons are dealt another, blow, another nail in the coffin of John McCain-ism. By the way, some of the articles talking about some of these races are like, well, will the Republican Party go full-on fascist? Or will it go back to the sobriety of the John McCain days? And I'm thinking to myself, yes, a bomb Iran, that's really sober. It's something that a sane person would say. Anyway, we have the Arizona race. There are rumors of some honking going on with certain drop boxes that shall not be named on a YouTube video, but I encourage you to vote for Kari Lake. If you take a GOP ballot in Arizona, she has been endorsed by Donald Trump. Now, that on its own means something to me because I generally trust his judgment, although not on every single issue. Wish he would go further in many cases. And looking at her record of things that she said, she's really not frenetic or fascistic or out there or anything like that. That's basically legacy media propaganda. More important to me in this particular race is who endorsed her opponent. I can't remember her name because she's irrelevant and about 10 points behind. Mike Pence decided, of all races, to go into the Arizona gubernatorial GOP primary and dare to endorse the opponent. Now, even if I didn't like Trump, and I do, but even if I didn't, I hate Mike Pence. You'll remember that I got off the Trump train initially when he was running in 2016 because he took Mike Pence on as a running mate. It was a bad idea. That my take on this aged like fine wine. Mike Pence is a moron. He's a John McCain warmonger. He's a neocon. He's dross. He's everything wrong with yesteryear's Republican Party. Seeing him get spanked by his candidate getting absolutely ass-blasted would be goddamn orgasmic. I do believe that Kari Lake is likely to win. But you must do your duty and go out and actually vote. You need considerable turnout. Again, there are rumors of some honking going on in Maricopa County. That may be problematic, so you need to overwhelm it with tens of thousands of extra votes. It's not that difficult. You're going to vote? You got a friend that's slightly reluctant. You got a sister, a mother, a brother, a son, or something. They're slightly reluctant to bother going. Bring them anyway. Just grab them and throw them in the car and bring them to the fucking polling place and say, look, it'll take you 5 minutes. I'll give you ice cream afterwards or something like that. Would that count as vote buying? Maybe it would, depending on the state law. Then we've got Michigan. I believe it's Michigan 3. And that's Peter Meijer. He's the neocon that voted to impeach Donald Trump over the insurrection hoax. One of the big lie people, the blue anon sort of conspiracy theorists. He's facing off against John Gibbs. Now, this race has actually seen Democrats pouring money into John Gibbs' campaign and begging people to take a GOP ballot to vote for him, under the premise that he'll be easier to beat because he's so far out there and out of touch with politics. Oh boy, what a tactical blunder. They're even being warned by elements of the legacy media about this, but they refuse to relent. Ignore the fact that Democrats are backing the MAGA candidate and back the MAGA candidate. If we can get rid of all 3 of the impeachers here, then we just have to wait for Liz Cheney like a week or a week and a half from now, and it's a clean sweep. All of the anti-MAGA neocons, all of the war pig, Miss Piggy types, the sleaze bags, the anti-gunners in some cases, will be gone as of this month. That's all we have to do. It only takes a few weeks more effort. So vote for John Gibbs in Michigan. Again, this is a district that has begun leaning more towards swing status, and it's funny because it was solidly red. They're trying to blame MAGA for this. Really what it has to do is demographics. There are parts of Michigan, it is a fast-moving state politically right now, so don't worry about this. There are parts of the state that are becoming massively more red. They're looking more like fucking Wyoming. Other parts of the state, like the Flint area and so forth, looking more and more blue. They look like San Francisco. This is the result of the hyper-politicization of the U.S. political climate. It has nothing to do with MAGA is easily defeatable and all of these other stories. Democrats wouldn't be funding John Gibbs just for their own benefit. They genuinely believe he'll be easier to beat. I'm willing to take that bet. And then we have 2 races in Washington State. Now, I believe they're both Washington 4. But I'm not 100% sure of this because I'm getting conflicting information with regards to the district involved with these House primaries. Actually, when I look at any report, like even Ballotopedia doesn't quite make it clear. I'm not exactly sure why. You've got Dan Newhouse and Jaime Herrera Beutler running in the primaries. They're the incumbents. They both voted for impeachment, again, because of the great hoax, the Blue Anon conspiracy theory that there was an insurrection on January 6th. They are facing off respectively against Loren, Culp, and Joe Kent. So I endorse both of them. Again, I don't even need to know anything about their ideology. There's no point in voting for Republicans at all if they're going to play shenanigan games and act like a House member Mitt Romney. There's no point to it. They've got no function. They don't have any principles. They're either easily taken in gullible, ignorant morons, and they actually believe the vote that they held had relevance and that there was actually an insurrection attempt, or they know better and they're being sleazebags for political purposes. They knew that there would be no removal from office of Donald Trump after the insurrection hoax, but they've held their snap vote anyway for self-serving purposes. They figured what they betted on. I'll tell you what it was. They betted that he was down and out. He was gone, effectively. Well, you know, they'll probably remove him from office even before his term ends. He'll be in jail and all of this other stuff. They were betting on him losing, even though he didn't. And they made the wrong bet. And you've already got 4 of the 9 people that voted in the House for that. They're not even bothering to seek re-election. Well, you've already removed 1, I believe, from their position. Now 3 more are up, and then it's just Liz Cheney. That's it. Those are the last anti-MAGA crusaders for the John McCain-Romney neocon consensus of 2 or 3 decades ago that clearly has wrecked the economy and doesn't work. Tomorrow is a fateful day. If these people all fail, and in Maricopa, Hong Kong with Kari Lake, you know, it's always possible that some ballots show up maybe the next day at 5 a.m. In the back of an unmarked vehicle. My thought is that the likelihood is you get 3 out of the 4. And I don't know which 3 that they're going to be. I think that 3 of the MAGA candidates prevail, which is really, really good. There's a better chance that 4 prevail than that less than 3 prevail, in my opinion. This is, I think, going to be a good day as of the August 2nd primary. Again, this is tomorrow. If you are in Arizona, vote for Kari Lake. If you are in Michigan, vote for John Gibbs. And if you are in Washington, and again, the districting, I think they're both in 4, but I'm not 100% sure, Loren, Culp, and Joe Kent. Get them up there. Spread the word. Spread this video or any other on the topic. And get them into their positions. Because at the very least, you've already won if you've kicked the neocon aside, even if you lose the general. It's better to have a Democrat in a position. You know that they're going to be a sleazebag because they're going to go either neoliberal corporatist or far left. It's better to have them in the position than have someone who seems like they're sane, and then at the last minute, at the 11th hour, they pull a Cornine and they stab you in the back. It's better a true enemy than a false friend. That's about all. Peace out.